Hello everyone, I thought it would be fun today if we took a look at some of my favorite bayonets and other bladed weapons. So let's start with this. This is a model of 1917 trench knife. So this is a World War I US issued trench knife. See, it's pretty basic. So these would quickly be replaced by the Mark I, which had a much more substantial handguard. It had something like this. So as you can see, this is a Mark I handguard. It's much heavier. It's got much more protection to it. This is an original Mark I handguard, but this is actually a home done blade replacement. Next we have this German bayonet. This is an 8490 Type 3 bayonet. This one is dated to 1935. It is from the EUF Horster factory. I like this bayonet mostly because it's just really a great knife, well constructed, and the blade and everything is just, I mean, it would be a good fighting knife, but it's also just generally a good knife. Also, of course, Mauser bayonets fit on pretty snugly and are pretty cool. So it doesn't have a forward bayonet ring, it just kind of floats on there. I always thought that was really cool. So next we have this wacky British No7 bayonet. At first it looks like a pretty good blade, nothing very unusual, maybe a little bit overly chromed, but check this out. It does that. So the reason it does that is because this was designed to be able to go on the Sten gun as well as on the number 4 rifle. So it fits on the number 4 basically like a regular bayonet would on this rifle. But you notice there's this weird bayonet ring up here. So that was for the original connection to the Sten gun, but later on they would actually make the Sten guns able to just take the regular bayonets. So in what is kind of a typical British fashion, they came out with this piece of equipment which was very quickly completely absolutely pointless. And in addition to that, they actually didn't even bother to issue these because they found in trials that bullets sometimes did hit this ring on the way out. So these were pretty much immediately relegated to parade type duty. So next we have everyone's favorite thing in the world, a kukiri. So this particular one I believe is a Mark III. This one was produced for World War II. Unlike traditional kukiris, these issued ones have a full tang, so it's not pinned how traditional ones. This is more similar to how a bayonet grip, a British bayonet grip would have been, or really any World War I era, World War II era grip. So you can see on this bayonet how that grip is very similar to the one on the kukiri. But other than that, it's basically exactly the same as a traditional kukiri. So the last piece I wanted to look at is up here. This is a British Rifle Officer's Pattern 1892 sword. This would have been carried by a commissioned officer. One interesting detail about the rifle swords is that the handguards are all steel instead of bronze like most typical swords. As you can see on the fort, or the strong of the sword, there's a lot of decoration. Actually pretty typical of British swords. Other than that, it's just generally a thrusting sword. A little bit heavy, a little bit heavier than the French counterparts anyway, but this example is very solid, really nice swords. All British swords are individually made, unlike the French that were made by the state. But I've always just really enjoyed the decoration and the etchings of the handguards of British swords. So that was my little video on bladed weapons and bayonets. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.